All right. We're going to talk about the Pluto going direct because I am recording this on the 8th of October, 2022. And Pluto, the planet of regeneration, transformation, resurrection, has now moved direct. So he has been retrograde, meaning going back over in the sign of Capricorn. So I'm going to read the 26 and 27-degree Sabian symbols for this. And it's very key to know that Pluto is a generational planet. The United States is in its Pluto return. I believe natally it is a 27 degrees. And so Pluto is going to touch that same point about 3 times. So it's there right now. Pluto will dismantle and uproot any of the hidden things. So what is Capricorn? Capricorn is our structures, governance, legacy, tradition. And so Pluto is like, let's dismantle it, let's change it up, let's reveal anything that's hidden, right? Also another symbology or metaphor for Pluto. And it's intense. So the transformation that's happening generationally and also collectively is huge. It takes 248 years for Pluto to go around the astrological wheel. So we will not, once Pluto moves out of Capricorn, it's going to go back retrograde, according to the information that I've been researching online, to about that 26, 27-degree Capricorn yet again before it moves on into Aquarius. And when is that? A little bit of discrepancy for the information I was finding online. January 2024, it should move its way into Aquarius. So I think another one was online was telling me November. So basically right around that time, let's give or take. So as Pluto was retrograde, um, it's kind of slowed down some of the revelations, some of the uprooting. Doesn't mean that things aren't happening or being dismantled. It's just we're not aware of a lot of it right now. So now that Pluto went direct around 5:56 p.m., just prior to this full moon in Aries that's conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer, in the opposition with the sun in Libra with Venus, we have two huge heavenly motions taking place just constantly on that wheel, right? So it's very powerful and very transformational. And ultimately, at the end of the day, Pluto wants regeneration and resurrection. So that is that too. I pulled up the card. Your ability to transform, take a big leap of faith forward, and it's rebirth. So this dismantling that we're going through is intense and it's powerful. And because Pluto is a generational planet, it's going to have an influence and an impact for generations to come. Pluto is in the second house of the United States chart. So values, um, and a lot of that, I believe, with Pluto revealing, look what's taken place over the last couple of years with the pandemic, where money has been filtered into different places, maybe hidden shady things that have been taking place for far longer than what many of us have been aware of. So it's about dismantling it in the United States, especially the structures like government, religion, what our legacy was supposed to be built on is being revealed. Second house too is also, our food. Um, I think it goes back to a personal level on what our true core values are and realizing that we have perhaps been living in a very false world. The United States has been dabbling with all different countries for all of our lives, and the military has been out fighting countless wars. We've been dabbling with the UN and NATO and you name it, most likely, well, factually, with hidden objectives from the government that we weren't, maybe as the people weren't quite aware of that. So a lot of things being dismantled, uprooted, and now that we have forward momentum with this celestial being, the Pluto, the transformational planet, regeneration, rebirth, resurrection, the tower moments have already been really basically revealed. So hopefully you're doing your inner work. That's what my purpose always is on the channel, is how can we navigate and work with the energies as these other structures are being dismantled. So self-reliance to me, and being able to go forward, especially when Pluto moves into Capricorn or Aquarius, on more of a collective thinking, what benefits the whole instead of just those few structures, whether it be government, big corporations, big pharma, big religions, any of those things that really we're finding out that have not been for the best of us. So Pluto went retrograde April 29th of this year, and it is now direct as of October 8th at 26 degrees, 6 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the 26-degree and 27-degree Sabian symbol for this, and keep in mind what happens in the United States has an impact and an influence over the whole world. So if you look at any of the news that's taking place, although I don't recommend indulging in it at all, there's a lot of talk of war and a lot of deception, a lot of things that maybe now that Pluto's going direct will start being revealed to to the people, on all of the shady happenings that have been taking place with our religions, governance. And I was thinking about this too as I'm researching, right? Um, Pluto rules Scorpio in the modern astrology. Scorpio is what? Sex, depth, not just the low, just there's high and low polarities of everything. So to me, Pluto revealing things in Capricorn, those structures of whether it be human trafficking, shady sexual things that have been happening, the agendas that have been starting to be revealed for anybody who has the eyes to see now. But I feel now Pluto going direct, maybe, just maybe, some of the masses will start to have these things revealed to them. So ultimately, we want to reflect on that, on especially when it was in retrograde, on our own inner transformation that's been happening. How are we going to deal with more revelations of the shadiness that's been taking place, whether it be in governments or, like I said, structural? So, and then I think on a personal level would be, how do you want to transform so that when you are leaving your legacy behind, were you one that spoke up when you should? Um, spoke up against the lies and the deceptions, and especially the manipulation that we've all been witnessing over the past couple of years? Or are you one that sat by and said nothing, did nothing, right? Again, we can't control, we never had choices in a lot of the things that have been taking place within humanity, but how we can evolve out of that is to be more self-reliant. So the 26 degrees, and I'm going to read the 27 degrees too, because remember, Pluto will come back over that same degree, which is hitting the United States as Pluto return 248 years later. So here we go. Pluto entered Capricorn November 27th of 2008. What happened back then? So let's see. It'll take one more pass back into Capricorn before it enters Aquarius in January of 2024. So we have all of 2023 that we're still going to be having the Pluto Capricorn energy. It'll go into Aquarius, but then it's going to retrograde again. So did I write down that? No, I didn't. Let's just do the Sabian symbol before we do a few cards for this. So the 26-degree Sabian symbol, and this is from my Diane E. Rosh Sabian symbol book. A water sprite. The key word is restlessness. The light touch. This symbol speaks to a spiritual mastery of experience. The image of a water sprite alludes to the magic of spontaneity and naturalness, and to the fact that being yourself is the best course of action in any situation. This degree also symbolizes intuition, imagination, and a delicacy or the use of light touch. On the positive aspect of this degree, at its highest, this symbol represents psychic sensitivity, insight, effervescence. On the low vibration or negative of this is avoidance of commitments or flightiness and instability. So look at what we're witnessing with all the instability, right? We're in this great change and none of us know as this dismantling is happening. Things are being revealed that have been shady. There's a lot of instability. So it's so important that we go into our own inner divine and seek that strength, right? Because all of this transformation and dismantling can cause restlessness. And so we want to be really present in our bodies so that we can resurrect out of this a better people, a better nation. We can't control what the government's been doing for so long, but we can evolve in this transformation on an individual level. So the ascent is on spontaneity and unpredictability. Be prepared to change gears at a moment's notice. So this is saying there's going to be a lot of things where there's so many shifts and changes. Look what happened with lockdowns. That's just a bunch of control, right? In the structures too, and deception. So pay attention to that. Things aren't likely to stay the same for long. Expect the unexpected. So I'm feeling like now that Pluto's going direct, like, get ready. Your greatest advantage lies in following your intuition and being flexible. Move quickly to seize any opportunities that present themselves. The stepping stones are spontaneity, effervescence, excitability, bubbliness, sparkle, liveliness, high spirit, vivaciousness, impatience, energy, exuberance, enthusiasm, animation, restlessness, and sensitivity. So just think about what that's saying as we just had the Pluto go direct at 26 degrees, 6 minutes. So what's now going to be shared is the 27 degrees of Capricorn. This is significant, as I said, because it's going to come right back close to that again. And it's also the United States natal Pluto with the Pluto return. A mountain pilgrimage. The key word for 27 degrees of Capricorn is perseverance. So the theme is the high road. This symbol speaks to a vision and to the perception of higher reality. The image of a mountain pilgrimage symbolizes a spiritual journey or a quest for understanding and enlightenment. And it dramatizes the determination of a man to comprehend the ultimate purpose and meaning of life. Think about that. This is happening in the second house. We're asked to take the high road as individuals, especially if you reside here. We're being asked to persevere be adaptable, be willing to almost have a little bit of excitement within you to what will come after we go through the dismantling and the revelations and revealing of the things that are probably not going to be pleasant to witness. The emphasis here is on the importance of not giving up before a goal is reached or a dream fulfilled. So I know it's heavy. I know it's intense, but keep persevering. Keep persevering. On the positive, at 27 degrees of Capricorn, at its highest, the symbol represents aspiration and devotion to high and noble goals. On the negative, hypocrisy and a pretense to spiritual superiority. What have we seen from our own governments and structures, specifically in the United States, since I'm kind of researching how this is so powerful and so significant for us? The hypocrisy. What have you seen over the past 2 years? I believe it's been there. We just are now having it revealed, right, with the lockdowns. Wear this, but you've seen many clips online of politicians or whoever in high, quote, high places, so they think, not following the same rules, right? I know for in my state, the governor telling us all to stay home and not travel, but yet her husband was caught trying to get his boat into his lake, his vacation home. She flew to Florida to see her father, but yet we were told to stay home to cover up this hypocrisy. Today, the ascent is on endurance and staying power. Getting to the finish line may seem particularly difficult. So again, it's reminding us intensity, instability, and that's what's happening with the regeneration, with the Pluto return of the United States, is our values. We all should be questioning what our values are over the past couple of years, right? Our elders, our wise ones put into nursing homes and isolated. Well, again, like I said, the governor of my state's off traveling to see her father. Really? That's the hypocrisy it's talking about. It's asking us to take the spiritual high road. And that doesn't mean being a doormat. And it definitely doesn't mean to be dominated over these people who are hypocrites, whether it be in religion, government, corporations, right? The opportunity is your greatest advantage lies in taking it one step at a time and keeping your eye on the goal until you get there. So this is personal advice for each of us individually. Pep talk. One step at a time. Be strategic. Have your values and morals in check. The risk is guard against quitting because you think your aspirations were set too high. Don't give up until the dream is realized. The stepping stones for 27 degrees of Capricorn. Mission, purpose, calling, intention, vision, spiritual journey, quest, inspiration, determination, perseverance, aspiration, devotion, and dedication. So to me, on our spirit, on our journey here in the earth plane, as we're witnessing all this, we have to have grit. We have to have our values in check on what really matters. And as these structures get dismantled and are dying, right? Death and rebirth. Don't lose sight of your rebirth. And collectively, whatever will happen with the United States and the rest of the world to follow, right? We can't necessarily control, but because this is generational and it's also individual, depending on where it is in your natal chart, it's where we are here to resurrect. And so I don't think it's been easy thus far, and it will continually definitely do its regeneration and transformation in all the structures in Capricorn, all the way until when it finally moves into Aquarius. So this is like a 248 cycle. It's big, it's not small, and it's more of a collective energy, like I said, with it being generational. Um, how you may be reflecting on it in your own personal life will depend on which sign it's in and which house. Um, but yeah, let's pull a few cards. I'm gonna pull from my what is this deck? My astrological reading cards just to see what else we have here. No doubt about it. So with it being in the second house to the United States, values aren't just about the paper dollar. And I think that the government and maybe even some people, if you haven't already had a wake-up call, maybe it's on in your individual life to be able to live in a more practical way, self-sustainability, like growing more of your own food. Um, but when we do have the hypocrisy that's been taking place of all the backdoor hidden deals, right, Pluto, of money and where certain people's values are, look out because consumerism, I mean, they're always going to sell you something. And I don't like to see anybody struggle, but many of innocent people all over the world, including the United States, have suffered at the hands of what all of these hypocrites and flat out freaking criminals have been doing, right? Whether it be priests taking innocence from children, whether it be governments warring with their own hidden objectives just to keep the military complex going. What else do we need to be thinking about with the Pluto going direct in Capricorn? Some water element, sensing. So water is feminine energy. Water is emotions. Water is intuition. We're being asked with this Pluto in Capricorn energy now going direct to really trust our intuition, to really feel into perhaps what we value. Maybe we valued something, a lot of changes in careers with people on individual levels. So the water element's being asking us to trust our intuition, feel in to what the information is being revealed to you, sense it, feel it, and trust your intuition. Let's do another one. For Pluto and Capricorn, these messages can be for any individual tuning in, or they can be for the collective. So what other messages here for us for this Pluto and Capricorn now direct? And again, tomorrow on the 9th, is it? Yes, is the full moon in Aries, South with Chiron. A lot of us have been going over and seeing what we've been wounded from. I'm sadly disappointed in all the crooks, but I've kind of Being a Pluto in Libra generation, I've always known that the systems in place weren't for everybody, right? Solar eclipse, revolution. We have a solar eclipse on October 25th happening in Scorpio with the South Node. So it is, and again, being in Scorpio, Pluto rules Scorpio. So we have to really feel into our senses, trusting our intuition. We are in a revolution. Eclipse energy is endings, done. If you've been fighting against it, it will most likely be eclipsed. And you have to start a new beginning because the eclipse energy also ushers in a new beginning. All about transformation, all about deception. So this goes on a personal level. If you've been deceiving yourself and not going with what your heart tells you, like you can feel the resistance, right? This feminine energy is receptive. So you listen to your body, your intuition, your senses. But if you're resisting that, I just said this to my husband. He said yes to an invite, but his body was saying no. So I'm like, you got to trust what you're sensing. So with this, it's so funny that the eclipse comes up because it's happening this month as well as Pluto goes direct, right? We have this full moon, we have Pluto direct, we have an eclipse the rest of this whole year. Intense. So we have to persevere, don't lose hope, like the Sabian symbol was saying. Let's do a twin flame journey tarot now. And then I will end this video. I just was really researching and fascinated by this conversation we have now that Pluto's going direct in Capricorn. And of course, knowing the significance of the Pluto return of the United States of America. Eight of Cups, evolving. Another water element, evolving. So this transformation, you see this volcano going off behind this gentleman. He's kind of standing there. He's in the dark, but he's facing the opposite direction. So there's a lot of things being dismantled personally, could be emotionally, especially since we had that Pluto retrograde. Now we're having forward momentum. Walk forward, keep evolving. Again, this transformation can be explosive that we're in right now, and it will be anyway with the eclipse energy. So interesting. He's walking away from that. What is the last one? Ten of Swords, painful endings. So mental energy. So perhaps many of you have been reflecting pretty deep. Again, we had a lot more planets retrograde than just Pluto. There was like, what, 6 or 7 of them. So now with this full moon in Aries, I'm hoping that you can resurrect yourself. I'm hoping that you can trust your intuition, know that you're evolving not only emotionally, but physically, energetically, and that, yes, the transformation is powerful, is painful. Death is, quote, painful. But the 10 to me, it's a done. 9 is a completion number, and 10 is also, to me, a new beginning, just like the eclipse energy that came up. So this is my little intuitive insights for the Pluto going direct and the Pluto return of the United States. And the I am affirmation, my whole inspiration is to help myself and individuals that tune in to evolve, to rise above all of this fuckery that many of us on the earth plane are witnessing. And now that Pluto's direct in Capricorn, get ready for more to come out. Get ready for more to come out. Lastly, I am forgiving. Forgive yourself first for not knowing any better. But once you wake up, Don't beat yourself up. I say this all the time. Don't beat yourself up for past mistakes. That's what they're supposed to help us learn and teach us and transform us and resurrect us, right? Like we're going through collectively. I am forgiving. And I guess from a spiritual perspective, we can also do this in our hearts for those that are playing the roles of the villains on the earth plane. We don't have to go break bread with them, but on a spiritual level, we can blast them with light. And on a soul level, forgive them for playing the roles they chose, because who knows what roles we played in past lives. But I know that we are definitely in a revolution and evolution, according to the Eight of Cups. And I just find it fascinating. Sometimes I get on here and don't absorb the cards as much as they speak to me, and then I'll push stop on the video and the cards will continue to speak to me, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to share that too. So I wanted to go slow, feel into it, just like this card tells us to sense, be receptive with the water element, trust our intuition, feel into what's happening within you, around you. We are in a revolution. I was going to say revelations because it definitely, I think, biblically feels like we're definitely in that. And that's to me what revelations means is what Pluto's doing in Capricorn, revealing all the dark, deep, hidden shit that's been happening in the government, religion, corporations, big pharma, you name it. Keep your values straight. You're meant to be here. Love yourself up. Be forgiving with yourself. And again, you can powerfully do that with people that you don't like because you don't have to like everybody. I'm not into the butterflies and this earth plane. Life isn't easy, so I wouldn't expect anybody to act like it's all good because there is death here. There is regeneration here. So until we meet again, much love to you guys all. Shalom, shalom.